If you play very fast and confident.
Probably everybody, when they get low on time, it's happened.
Doesn't matter how good they are at chess. If you have someone who's a great chess player, but they're driving you crazy, this is the worst possible thing.
Throw them away. There's no value.
I just toss them.
Exactly. Generally, we'll eat something light, like maybe some fish before the meal, or before the game, I should say. And during the game, I very rarely eat. Sometimes like a little bit of chocolate and some coffee if I need caffeine, but it's very, very plain.
Yeah, same with me, more or less. Dark chocolate I like during the games.
Whatever's available, whatever's around. Yeah, I'll generally not try to hide things too much. I think it's very unpleasant to play against someone who's just blitzing. But sometimes just to put a bit of doubt in your opponent's mind can also be helpful.
I rarely do that. I think that if you play very fast and confident, that puts more pressure on your opponent than you just being tricky. Although Anand did it a couple of times with me, so it also a way.
Yeah, I would say generally I don't do it that much either, sometimes a couple of minutes, but it's much more annoying when your opponent is moving quickly because you feel like you're playing a computer, so I don't do it much.
And then when you're like, he's playing quickly, and then you play a move and he starts to think, you're kind of, oh my God, I played the wrong move. That is not the first line.
Exactly.
There is a huge advantage of blitzing the moves. Like, the pressure is immense. King's Indian.
I think if a beginner learns like the Scandinavian, can be very good.
Yeah, I would also say Scandinavian.
Well, I like to keep like the sport and just life separate from each other, so.
Yeah, I never had an issue with that. I mean, unless the rivalry is so intense, like you wouldn't hang out with your opponent during a world championship match. But for most things, yeah, you can keep it separate.
But I think the big difference is if there were more of us who are making a living, I think you would have more rivalries. But I think it's a very small circle, so I think everyone is relatively appreciative of the fact that we're in this situation. So I think most of us are pretty good at separating.
I don't know what my public persona is, so I don't know. But I would assume it is because you can't really get to know someone off sound bites or off short interviews. And also, the chess atmosphere is very different. When you see someone during a tournament or in interviews during a tournament, it's very different than when you see someone in their natural environment.
Yeah, I did some training. I had a psychologist. I mean, from time to time, I read and try to analyze things.
Yeah, I think for myself, I did some work also with a sports psychologist, and it was actually very beneficial because it's when I reached my highest ranking in 2015. So I think there are benefits potentially to working with a psychologist.
I think it's very important to have a coach who can also help you psychologically. If you have someone who's a great chess player, but they're driving you crazy, this is the worst possible thing. It doesn't matter how good they are at chess.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably everybody, when they get low on time, it's happened here or there where your hand shakes, you're unsure about a move. I think it's very common, so it's happened for me many times. I've
had like tremors, like body tremors, but never in my hands. But usually that's probably like a sign that I'm crashing, like low blood sugar at that point. But that's happened.
Happens with me. I keep them because I write the time that I spent. You know, it's kind of testimony for myself, how seriously I consider certain things. So it's important for me to analyze.
There was a period when I was playing like in 2010, 2011, there was this guy Shiva in Chicago, I think you probably know him, and he wanted my score sheets. So I sometimes save the score sheets from those tournaments here or there, but now I just throw them away. There's no value.
I just toss them. I don't have any score sheets.
I think we're all going to say the same thing. I mean, for me, it's obviously Fischer, just because if you look at players from the past, he's the only player I don't think any of us met him. He's the only player who is probably comparable to the current top players, where he had that level, where if we played him, it would be very exciting to see how good he is. I mean, playing someone like Capablanca would be amazing, but we also would probably beat him. So I think for me, it's Fischer easily.
Yeah, I would say Fischer. I think anyone before that time would be maybe a disappointment to play against because it wouldn't be super competitive. I think Fischer, like, we would be definitely favorites, but it would be very interesting. But actually, I think maybe playing Gary in his prime would also be very interesting. I would also be curious about that, just to see how it feels versus playing against modern top players.
Or Karpov in his prime.
Also interesting, yeah.